You think you understand social media? Even some of the world's best-known marketing experts are having trouble with it. And yeah, I'll include me in that statement, which is either way too egomaniacal. Did he just call himself an expert? Or too wimpy? Hey wait, I think he just admitted he's not smarter than other marketing people. Well, you decide. Here's what made me think about this today. A couple of weeks back, Vic Gundata, who'd been running Google Plus since it was created a few years ago, suddenly left Google. Now, ignore that sometimes a cigar is just a cigar angle, where a really rich guy with no more career upside just decides to be a rich guy for a while. Because most of the buzz surrounding Vic's departure has focused on the likelihood that Google is getting ready to mothball Google Plus. And that would be an interesting conversation. And given Google's propensity for discontinuing services it no longer considers central to its mission, it's not completely crazy, except for one thing. Discontinuing Google doesn't mean anything, and I'll explain. Google, despite looking as though it's trying to be the same thing as Facebook, isn't really a social network. Oh sure, Google would have been happy to see Google Plus compete meaningfully for people's internet meandering time, but just months after Google Plus launched, Google's chairman Eric Schmidt revealed the truth. Google Plus isn't even about social networking, it's about social control. But despite that, people thought Google Plus was failing after a year. It seems Mr. Schmidt's very clear earlier message was simply being ignored. So now 2 more years have passed. The general idea that people aren't hanging out on Google Plus in the way they do on Facebook is still a topic under discussion whenever Google Plus comes up, and it is still correct, but Google Plus is used, if unintentionally, by at least 500 million, that's billion with a B, people, and Google gathers an awful lot of information through that use. Google plugs the information into their search modeling and search optimization. They use it to sell more advertising at higher prices. Google is the world's dominant search engine and largest advertising agency. Google Plus is far from a failure. Google Plus, the technology that Eric Schmidt was so open about right after it was launched, isn't going anywhere. Now, Google Plus, the product, might start looking or acting differently, and that would be no surprise, or even cease to be, and that would be, but Google Plus, the technology, is the single most important part of Google's high-level strategy. So why are so many smart marketing people predicting its demise? For example, this morning, Mark Schaefer, a marketing guy with a huge following who, nevertheless, has been looking like he's losing perspective on where the forest ends and the trees begin, opined that Google Plus is in trouble because teenagers aren't using it. Teenagers don't care, Mark. They use tools like Snapchat and they love Twitter for the same reason celebrities, marketers, and celebrity marketers love Twitter. You can spout off without putting a lot of thought into actual engagement. Despite looking like one, Twitter isn't a social network either, and it sure isn't failing. You know what's great about Google Plus? We don't get engaged enough there to be depressed. Google Plus is the unsocial network. Google Plus illustrates the importance of influency and underscores the power that size conveys. Sure doesn't sound like a failure to me. I'm the answer guy.